users of the trail here today. So this is a miracle that actually this event is happening. So we're delighted you're here, and to see so many of you here, it's wonderful. I'm Mark Bebro. I'm president of Friends of the Riverfront, and Friends of the Riverfront has been doing this for 19 years. Somewhere in the back I see John Stephen, who was our founder 19 years ago. So John, thank you for all your hard work, and thank you. As usual, you're in the background, but you're here, so we're pleased. Tom Baxter is always hiding, our executive director, who refused to be recognized, so I just want to say thanks to Tom. I see Representative Costa here. Thanks for being here as well. The mayor of Millvale and the borough manager are here as well. Thank you, folks. We're here to celebrate a miracle. This is a combination of state, county, private, philanthropy, working together on budget, on time. Don't think that's ever happened before in the history of the world. So I'd like to say thank you. But first of all, the man clearly keenly responsible for making this all work, the director of PennDOT for District 11, Dan Cessna. Dan, where are you?
Well, I don't know that I deserve that introduction, but thank you. It is great to be here. This trail connection represents so many things to so many people. For PennDOT, it represents being able to satisfy the needs of probably one of the largest advocacy groups of transportation, and that's trail users. Quite honestly, in my career with PennDOT, I work with a lot of people, a lot of different constituencies, and the folks that advocate for trails, quite honestly, are the most passionate about all that they do. And really today is a direct result of that passion, that energy, that drive. And it's for not just for Pittsburgh, but it's for the region. And it really improves Pennsylvania and quite honestly all the United States by creating amenities like this. But there's a lot of history in this bridge that we're standing at today. A number of years ago, we were working through our design process for 28, and I've been involved with this project for 5.5 years, and it became very clear to us that the trail connection that was never really existed, it just utilized the maintenance road for the railroad, was a real problem. And quite honestly, our project, the shifting of the railroad away from the hillside to create the opportunity to add the interchange at 31st Street Bridge, it really didn't allow for a simple solution for the trail. And through various public meetings and various private meetings that we had with Tom Baxter and others from Friends of the Riverfront and other groups, it became quite apparent that we needed to come up with a creative way to deal with this situation, because not having a trail connection through this area really was not an option. So through a lot of creative energy and a pretty unique partnership, we determined that it made sense for PennDOT, due to the impact that we were creating through this area, to offer to design the trail connection, which in this case is the bridge, and also acquire the right-of-way, because anybody that deals with trails, trail connections, knows the complications involved in acquiring the properties from the various property owners for these things. So because we were already doing that for our highway connection, we took that opportunity to do it for the trail as well. So through that partnership, we handed a pretty big task, though, to Friends of the Riverfront, and that was finding the money to actually construct it. But they were very successful through a lot of partnerships, as was mentioned, some philanthropy, some donations from other state agencies, and then finally, through the final hurdle, was some federal money through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, which also funded a portion of the highway project. The funding package was able to become complete. For my staff, I certainly would like to thank some folks that helped us. Baker Engineering worked with the city of Pittsburgh, who's going to be the owner, and graciously agreed to be the owner of this asset. And our staff internally, and then ultimately turning it over to Brayman Construction to build this nice structure. So a lot of our folks worked together over a number of years to get to today. So we're very excited, and on behalf of PennDOT, I just want to thank everybody and want to offer you this great asset for the region today. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, very much. Just a note for the couple of speakers following, the longest speech has already occurred. Is that correct? All right. From the City of Pittsburgh, Department of Public Works, a longtime advocate of Friends and trail development, Patrick Hassett.
Hey, good morning, and this is a great morning. I'm Patrick Hassett. I've worked with many of you over my 20 years here with the city, bringing trail and cycling projects to completion. This is one of the bigger ones that we've accomplished over my tenure at least. But I'm here today representing the mayor. He did give me a statement that he wanted me to read to you, for he was not able to attend it in himself. My apologies for not being able to join you this morning. I know many of you here have worked long and hard to make this day possible, and I do wish I could be there to personally express my gratitude and help celebrate this major achievement. That being said, I did get a chance to stop by last week, and I must say that this is one impressive trail structure. Hats off to all of you who made this possible, to Federal Highway and PennDOT for providing the bulk of funding and oversight, to DCNR and DCED for providing local matching funds, to the Heinz, Laurel, and Mellon Foundations for their continued dedication to this city's quality of life, to Friends of the Riverfront and the Senator's Office for coordinating the advocacy that got this project on the books, to the engineers at Michael Baker and their team for the design of this structure, and to the contractors, Brayman Construction and its team, for providing the muscle and getting the job done. We, the city, have the distinguished honor of accepting this structure and adding it to our network of riverfront trails. I'm committed to making cycling and walking a safe and convenient way of getting around the city. This project is testimony to our collective revisioning of our transportation system, a vision that is moving away from our auto-centric view of transportation and giving greater relevance to the broader constituency of users, including cyclists and pedestrians. A constituency that is worthy of this type and level of investment. We have here a tremendous asset that now provides trail users an important link from the city to Millville's riverfront development and eventually all the way to Erie, PA. Again, I congratulate you all for a job well done and thank you for this impressive piece of trail infrastructure. The Honorable Luke Ravenstahl, Mayor, City of Pittsburgh. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Mayor. From the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, a longtime friend of trail development as well, Tracy Stack. Tracy, where are you?
Good morning, everyone. This is a fantastic day. This is something that DCNR has been funding trails, that is, for numerous years since our inception, about 15 years now. There's a big, broad picture in Pennsylvania of what our trail system should look like, and this is obviously one of our huge greenways in the state of Pennsylvania. This greenway is going to go from Erie to Pittsburgh. That is, to some, say unfathomable. It's too far. To Jim, Darla, Friends of the Riverfront, and the folks on the ground, volunteers that are doing this wonderful work, it's not. It's unbelievable. Pretty soon we're going to have a greenway that goes from Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C. complete. Look how long that took. I mean, and we're closing in on the final pieces to that puzzle. And so as I see this trail today opening, this is one small piece in a very large puzzle. And it's through all the wonderful volunteer work on the ground that really makes this happen. From the state level, from the county level, to the local municipalities, that hopefully is going to create some economic development along this trail, to all the users, but again, mostly to the volunteers that live and breathe and eat this trail every single day. And it's very great to be a part of this wonderful celebration. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And last but not least, from Allegheny County, also an advocate of trails for many years, Darla Cabada. Darla.
Okay, so everybody said everything that needs to be said, but they didn't say one thing, which is, first of all, we now have a safe way to get to Pamela's in Millville, right? So Mayor, Ginny, we need to figure out how to get across the street really safely. Yeah. So on behalf of the county executive, I'd like to congratulate the Friends of the Riverfront, PennDOT, Dan Sessa especially is a great trail advocate, Tracy Stack, DCD, all the private funders, but all the volunteers for making this happening. This is our first connection to the municipalities. So we have 17 down the road, all the way to Erie, all the way to Harrisburg, all the way to places that we don't ever think about inside of the city limits. But this is our first real connection outside of the city to the municipality. So that's a really big deal, and we're really excited that it's Millville, because they have a tremendous asset in their Riverfront Park. But the one thing that I do want to say, as we work to connect to Erie, as we work to connect to the Erie to Pittsburgh Trail, the Harrisburg to Mainline, Mainline Canal, the one thing that we also want to really encourage Mr. Cessna to think about is this. Each trail mile that we develop commuting routes for people to come in and out of the city of Pittsburgh and to get cars off of Route 28. So the more we can build faster, the less cars we'll have on 28 during this construction, and we can help you out, Mr. Sessa. Congratulations.
Thank you, Darla. It's now time for the photo op. We're ready to cut the ribbon. Virginia, you're the manager. You're going to do the ribbon cut. We have other scissors. Is that it? Okay. Here we go. Let's do it. Are we ready?
Yay!
Hold on. We got Dan.
Gotta get Mr. Cessna. Yeah, Dan's gotta be there. And Millville, yes.
Oh, there you go.
All of it, yes. Tom?
Oh, no, we can't see you. No, get on the other.
They're more important. They can at least pose on the other side.
Yeah, why don't you pose on the other side?
Hey, hold your ribbons. Hold your ribbons and turn around so we can get a picture.
There we go.
Hold your ribbons and your scissors so we can get a picture.
There you go.
Yay, good job. Thank you. Thank you all.
Good
Thank
job.
you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marty.
Party at the park.
Thanks everybody for coming, and I'd encourage you to head down to the Millville. Virginia Heller and the mayor were kind enough to allow us to use their pavilion to have an after party. There'll be food and beverage courtesy of Vesuvio and Pizza Sola. See you down at the pavilion. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.